As a runner, I had no cellulite on my legs, but the other day I was sitting on a little bench and my daughter said, "Mommy, what are those dimples on your legs?" And yes, I realized I have cellulite.
My problem areas tend to always be the back of my thighs or the sides, and no matter how much that I exercise or even eat right, I can never seem to get rid of it. So I'm excited to be here today and to have this treatment.
I actually have a wedding coming up, and I actually want to really look my best for my husband, or my future husband, I should say.
So this technology we call BodyFx, basically it's a vacuum system that kind of sucks your skin up into it. It doesn't hurt, but creates a suction to really get good distribution of the energy to all the fat cells. And that energy, the radio frequency energy, it actually melts the fat cells.
That is awesome. Let's do it.
Cellulite, we know, is one of the most common and frustrating body problems. Now, this treatment claims to tighten tone and help rid your body of those dreaded dimples. That's why we put it to the test. We're joined by facial plastic surgeon Dr. Jason Diamond. Also with us are the testers, Marla, Patricia, and Margaret.
Welcome, ladies.
So here's the deal. Let's just go ahead and get to the results as we talk about this. So, Marla, we're going to bring up your before and after. That's after 6 treatments. And then we also have a before and after 3 months later. And while we show this, Marla, what was your big goal here?
My goal, I found that as I became in my middle to late 40s now, I all of a sudden saw my mom and my grandmother on my thighs and on the back. So I have a regular regimen of diet and exercise. I do a lot of trekking, climbing, but I just could not get this under control.
So you're pretty happy?
I'm thrilled. I would do this again in a heartbeat.
So let's see how Patricia looks after 6 treatments. And then that's 3 months later.
3 months later.
Are you as happy as our audience is?
Yes. I love the results.
And last but not least, bride-to-be Margaret. So 6 treatments, very, very impressive. And again, this is 3 months later. When's the big day?
Next year, June.
Well, great. And what does he think? Does he see a nice change?
He can't stop touching me.
Okay. So, Margaret, you came dressed in such a way that you can actually show us how you look.
So would you like?
Now, it's been 3 months. Let me take a look.
Okay.
Wow, that does. That looks good. Now,
The question is, you did between 6 and 8 treatments. How much does this cost? How long does something like this last?
Yeah, the price, there's a variation in prices depending where you go, but in general, it's probably averages about $500 a treatment. It takes about 6 treatments, and to get the best results, you do 1 a week for 6 treatments, and then there will be a maintenance, maybe once every 3 months after that, once every 6 months after that, depending on how well you keep your lifestyle in check.
but no permanent cure for cellulite yet. I'm not sure if we're ever going to find that, but this is one way. It seems like a great way to keep it at bay.
Yeah, as long as people stick to the program and keep their lifestyle in check.
And do the other things that, it sounds like you already are doing those things. So in concert with that,
and have a lot of extra cash laying around.
Well,
all those things together.
The price of beauty. I mean,
I must say the results.
Put it to the test.
Put it to the test, and you 3 ladies look great. Thank you for doing this, and Dr. Diamond, thank you as well.
Hi, Katie. Thank you for doing this. Again, we have the greatest viewers in the world to allow us to use them kind of as our little lab creatures here, quite frankly, so we can all learn. But what are we going to be doing here?
So this is the newest generation of cellulite treatments. It's the BodyFx. So what this does is it smooths the cellulite. Results last up to 6 months, sometimes longer, and it also reduces fat, so it shrinks the fat, and it tightens up the skin. Studies show that you lose about 1 inch the circumference of your thigh on each side after about the 6 weeks, and once again, it also tightens up. So who doesn't want to be smaller, smoother, and tighter? Smaller, smoother, and tighter? All right. So you're going to feel.
So we will not see results today with this, unfortunately.
No, because you need to do multiple treatments.
But Katie can confirm, is it painless?
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on your skin here, Katie, okay? And you're going to feel a little suction. Kind of tickles a little bit.
So what is that doing?
So what it does basically is it has a vacuum in it, and the vacuum helps to suck up the skin, and that helps to stretch out those connective tissue fibers that create the dimpling.
Right.
But it also has radio frequency, and radio frequency actually creates heat in the deep skin to tighten it up, so that's where you get the tightening.
Right.
And it actually affects and damages the underlying fat cells. It causes the fat cells to open up and regurgitate their fatty contents to actually shrink the fat cells down. Then the studies do show you lose inches from it, you tighten up, and the cellulite's better.
I think that's the big one for me, is that you actually lose circumference.
Yep. Yeah.
The fat goes away.
Yep.
Katie, was that literally painless?
Yes, it was. I didn't feel anything.
Isn't
it's a little tingling.
Isn't that exciting?
Yes, it's wonderful.
Oh my God. Will you finish your leg later?
Yeah, we can take
both of them.
Later. Yeah,
Please?
sure, why not?
I got you all hooked up there, Katie.
Next, tone up everything.
The body treatment for this radio frequency machine actually melts fat. You have to do it in a series because nothing is magical, but you can really get rid of cellulite, you can tighten the skin.
All right, imagine if you could erase your cellulite with just the wave of a wand.
I'm imagining. That's what a new FDA-approved treatment promises to do in tonight's cover story. KITV's Dita Payton introduces us to an Austin woman who says it isn't magic, but it can target those troubled areas that her workout just can't reach.
There are certain parts of your body that I don't care what you do, especially genetically, if you have it, you're going to have cellulite.
Billy Sudbrack works out 6 days a week, but still sees small ripples of fat on her hips and thighs.
And I think as a woman, I focus on those areas.
So Billy turned to Dr. Jennifer Walden, a plastic surgeon in Austin, but told her she did not want to go under the knife.
Non-invasive fat reduction and skin tightening technology is really a boom right now.
Dr. Walden introduced her to a new FDA-approved treatment called BodyFx.
This should be a permanent change for you.
So far, Billy has had 6 of her 8 treatments and says it's sayonara cellulite.
Happy dance. You know, we women have hips and thighs that do this, and then to see it change up into that, it's an incredible feeling.
Katina Curran's here from a new body contouring. But right now, what's happening down here?
So this treatment here is called BodyFx. What this does is it also kills fat cells, but it does it through a different technique, and it uses radio frequency. So instead of using cold to freeze fat cells, we use heat. It has a kinetic pulse that goes in, punctures a hole into the fat cell, causing the cellular structure of that fat cell to die. It also tightens the skin, increases the collagen in the area being treated.
Okay, I'm just going to say as a medical reporter, Priscilla, we see you standing here. Yes. It must not be too painful if you're just standing there calmly. What are you feeling right now?
It's just really warm. It's really not unpleasant at all. So.
There's no sharp pain. There's no nothing like that.
No, actually, it's not. There's no problem at all.
Do you notice the differences?
Absolutely.
Tell me.
Absolutely. Well, there's less cellulite, and it's a little more firm, so it's just really a great procedure.
Katina, we're looking at some before and after results to give people an idea of the difference.
Yes.
And if you want to explain that.
So typically what we see is about 8 to 10 treatments, okay? Each treatment is about 10 minutes, and it covers about a 4x4 area. So if we're going to do the upper thigh and lower thigh, you're looking at 20 minutes per leg.
Our Plastics Week has explored the lengths people go to look like the stars.
While we don't endorse any of these procedures, tonight Toronto surgeon Dr. Mulholland lets us in on a little secret. Women aren't the only ones seeking enhancements.
Warning, some of the footage is graphic.
So first up, to obtain that certain situation, Dr. Mulholland demonstrates a new non-invasive fat zapping technique.
And this is one of the many systems that we use to melt fat. This device delivers radio frequency energy, and it heats up the fat.
So how many procedures would you need?
It depends on the technology, but generally you need a number of procedures, between 4 and 8 procedures. And over 6 to 8 weeks, we can melt 2 or 3 inches off a man's abdominal contour.